everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Wida Schmidt live from Berlin studio. Today, I'm warmly welcoming to the CC Executive Webinar interview, and I'm very much honored to welcome Carlos Paulino, Managing Director at Equinix, Portugal, as my special guest today again. Welcome, Carlos. How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you, Wida, and thank you so much for this opportunity of joining with Carrier Community again. Thanks to our entire audience. I hope we can share interesting thoughts.
Likewise, dear Carlos. This is now our third time we sit together, and I'm honored to host this exclusive interview with you, Carlos. Before we left off last time, you shared some latest updates within the company, and also shared with us about the Equinix ambitious plan to make Equinix data center carbon neutral by 2030, and also about you shared with us about the developing necessary important technologies to do so, and you shared also about innovative 5G and edge technologies that are being developed in the centers in Dallas and Texas. Today, I would like, and the audience out there, we are very much looking forward to hearing about the latest news and happenings within the company. And with this being said, I would like to kick off the interview with my first question. Carlos, please tell us about the latest developments, happenings at the Equinix and also at Equinix Portugal.
Sure, with pleasure. Very interesting news happening. So Portugal is really increasingly established itself as an important hub for international connectivity. No news, but we are getting stronger and more visible on the global network. With subseas connecting Lisbon to Africa, South America, Asia, Europe, in all directions, basically being the center of the star. There is one very important news for the entire Iberia location. The truth is, Equinix just recently announced a second data center in Barcelona that will providing further connectivity to Lisbon and to the entire Iberian Peninsula. Will also reinforce Portugal as an international and strategic hub and gateway. The new site will have major subsea cables, including to Africa, Medloop, Cypertech, and other new cables that are scheduled and planning to land in Barcelona. And will strengthen all this geography and also create the connectivity to Genoa, in Milan, in the Middle East, and will galvanize the company as the connective core of the Mediterranean. Not only the Portugal serving the entire South Atlantic, but also as the Iberian Peninsula and Italy serving the entire Mediterranean, making it really a gateway in all directions. You know that the Lisbon data center in Equinix, we are direct connectivity to all submarine cables landing in Portugal, so we already have that vibrant ecosystem, and we are seeing more and more many digital leaders that are right now expanding their business to new cities, to new countries, and to new regions, and we can provide that business all the right places and partners and the possibilities they need to succeed. And taking advantage, of course, of the Equinix global network that currently has more than 245 data centers. In Lisbon, like you said, we are totally committed on reducing our carbon footprint, and now in Portugal we are covered by 100% green and renewable energy. And of course, offering our traditional offer of connectivity services, of co-location services, and really interconnecting all this ecosystem in all direction, being with our link with new cables like Equinix, with main one directly to Nigeria, with to Africa that we hope will be turned on soon. So RFS is to come, making it really the highway that I was expressing.
Thank you very much, Carlos, for these insights. And once again, congratulations on the latest news, including Barcelona. We are always eager to hear the latest from Equinix in Portugal, but also abroad. Moving on to the next questions. Why is Lisbon becoming a global hub connecting Mediterranean to the African continent? Please do shed some light on that one.
Yes, well, it's nothing new since the first telegraphic cable somewhere in the 18-something that really Portugal was immediately recognized as a geographical strategic point to serve this entire capacity all over the Atlantic. And the story have been going since then. Basically, we passed through all the traditional technologies. The first coax cables were also landed in Lisbon, mainly in Carcavelos, so the older, let's call it, cable landing station in that moment. And the truth is, we have seen that trend all over this period, because the location is really strategic. It's basically the last point before you entering the South Atlantic coming from Europe. All this created an ecosystem of interconnection between terrestrial, submarine, and it really served the entire history of digital evolution in the global network. I believe that role is stronger and stronger as much as we see more and more the development and the requirements coming from Africa that is really growing at such a fast pace that new digital highways are needed there. And once again, Lisbon is really on the center of it to interconnect both continents.
And also the audience, we are thrilled to hear about these highly significant importance and developments for the region. Carlos, please tell me how, and we know that the digital transformation is still happening and will continue to happen in our industry, how the digital transformation still affect the business, and what are the latest challenges and opportunities to meet clients' demands?
Absolutely, Vida. Basically, we know that, and we see and we feel that digital transformation is accelerating all over the world, and also in Portugal. So we have that perception daily. And just according to a recent study we have made called the Global Tech Trend Survey, 1/3 of the digital leaders in Portugal is expanding into a new city, a new country, or a new region. That's where Equinix really helps business to connect and to have and take the advantage of digital infrastructure. There are very important data, like almost half of all business in Portugal plan to facilitate global expansion plans by deploying virtually by cloud. So we are seeing cloud adoption really accelerating also, and the requirements to interconnect with low latencies and with a very large bandwidth growing more and more. Furthermore, the majority of the respondents in Portugal, if I'm not mistaken, around 63%, believe that technology changes and investment implemented during pandemic are here to stay. So we are seeing that it was not just a peak in human story, it's something that is continuous. And of course, we also feel that in all the requests that we receive for new interconnections. And Equinix knows, and we just release every year our global interconnection index, and it's easy to reach the outcome that most ecosystem connected business, those directly interconnecting with partners to provide their own digital services, have expanded their digital services more in the past 5 quarters than in previous 5 years. So this is what I mean when I say it's accelerating. It's something that it's requiring more and more capacity and growing each day. And we know that it really produces results directly in organizations. On average, organizations are connected to 3 times as many ecosystems, partners, and metro, consuming approximately twice the amount of interconnection bandwidth. So it's really something that we see as a continuous trend, and our best forecasts, we are talking about a consolidated annual growth rate at approximately 35% across all regions and major metros throughout 2025. So basically, it's a continuous trend. Of course, the move to the edge is also accelerating, and both enterprise and service providers are forecast that to interconnect to the edge infrastructure is 20% of faster than the core globally. So all this data together, when we really evaluated and make the big picture, we see in all directions there are really the entire partners and players moving on this increase of speed of digital transformation.
Thank you very much for this very interesting insight, Carlos. And now looking forward, we're all very interested to know your company focus in the coming years, and also if you could share with us some news about the future investment plans.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, very exciting news. Equinix is a very innovative company, and we are building the next generation of data centers to disrupt, to handle disruptive technologies. And we just have an example. Well, you mentioned like the data center that we have in Dallas, where we are really having that 5G development center where we can test and evaluate potential use cases. Just recently, a couple of weeks, we just announced that Equinix and Oxford Quantum Circuits, that is a leading global quantum computer as a service. So something completely new and really on the cutting edge of what technology can make today. Announced that he aims to make one of the most powerful quantum computers, and will be available commercially to business worldwide, and it will be based on in Equinix in Tokyo 11. I believe this is something absolutely. We are on the verge of a major transformation. No doubt, quantum computing is really going to be a complete revolution. We are not talking about nothing like additional innovation. It's disruptive innovation, and it can really change the way we do business, the way we have relations. It can change our lives, no doubt about it. And this hardware in Tokyo 11 is really planned to leverage our capacity of Equinix Fabric, so really to make it available immediately all around the world. And sometimes when we hear about quantum computing, we see it's something a little bit like science fiction. The truth is, this announcement was made to be available at the end of this year. So basically, it's something that we are seeing happening and really bringing uh, a immense capacity that can crunch vast amounts of data at incredible speed. So completely new. It can lead to breakthroughs in all areas and all industries. So I believe that's something that we will see as a major change in the industry. And of course, you mentioned dollars 11 is also something that we are evaluating and trying to help the market and the industry developing new services. Regarding our investment plans, I just mentioned the investment that we have made in Barcelona. Of course, we are also working on Lisbon to expand and be capable of really handle all the new capacity that we are seeing being created on the subsea. So basically, well, news will be released quite soon about what we are planning to do in Portugal, also to be able to cope with all the demand that we are seeing. Major investments also in Africa, where we deployed in Nigeria, and we are growing there. New locations also in Africa. So basically, our global footprint in Equinix is getting more global each day.
Thank you so much for being so candid, Carlos. At CC, we're always eager to hear such a strong outlook from leaders like Equinix, and indeed sharing with us the important future plans and also investment in quantum computing. Really thrilled to hear about it. Myself as well. Before we go, is there anything else, Carlos, that you would like to share with our viewers today?
Well, like I said, Equinix 2023 predictions really identified new trends that will mark the pace of the evolution of digital infrastructure. No doubt, newer technologies like AI, 5G, and IoT are improving operations and accelerating the development of new products, including, of course, autonomous cars, smart cities, augmented reality, and more. So applications of these technologies process tremendous volumes of data, and managing all data through the architectures means that for many companies, reaching their IT infrastructure to escape from the limitations of legacy and really the adoption of new technologies. That will be what we'll see in the future. There are interesting new, I should say, new models, like we are seeing the idea of digital twins. So the idea of really it already arrived to organizations where you can create copies of your factories or hospitals or data centers, airplanes, supply chain, and so on. And you can monitor the potential and maximize it. It's basically a digital model where it represents the real world, and allowing organizations to optimize in their operations and better serve their customers and predict business trends that reveal problems and opportunities in the future. Major changes also on the part of sustainability. So truth that the Equinix was the first company in this industry to really state that we will reach carbon neutrality in 2030, and we also been working with the European Commission to define the standard for this industry. And I believe next year we will see for the first time emission reporting in Europe become compulsory. We are seeing that in data centers, we are seeing that in subsea cables, we are seeing that in all areas. Of course, sustainability is really a hot topic it's not since now, it's since ever, and it's really a road to perfection. But we will also see in that particular area more pressure in really make it green, make it clean, and be able to not only make it in your own operation, but in the whole supply chain. I have no doubts that digital transformation across sectors like finance, health, agriculture, climate solutions, and tourism is helping to fuel economic development, and especially in emerging markets. We are seeing that now that we are also present in Africa, and stimulating economic growth will be a top imperative for governments in 2022. I have no doubt. I have the strong belief that business will struggle to grow without expanding their digital connectivity in an agile and secure way. Digital transformation already is one of the best ways to hedge against the continuing economic and geographical uncertainty, and helping to increase resilience and future-proof business worldwide. So I believe this is the way to go. The world is going on the right direction. Is accelerating on all the capacities that digital world can offer. So good times ahead, no doubt.
Excellent. I'm very happy to see how a global leader like Equinix continues to manage digital transformation through existing and future investment plans, but also working on new technologies to reach the carbon neutral goals for the data center, and also good to hear about the further investments in the Africa region. We all need to, I think, contribute and support this continent through our plans and initiatives. I think we are wrapping up this interview today. Carlos, thank you very much one more time for being my special guest and for today's executive interview. I'm looking very much forward to meeting you in person next week, and of course other partners at our annual CC Submarine Summit in Lisbon. Thank you once again, Carlos.
The pleasure is all mine. It's always a great pleasure to work with Carrier community, and really I'm looking forward to meet you and all our partners and friends. Well, everybody's extremely welcome to Lisbon. I hope so many can join. Looking forward to see you on the Submarine Summit.
Thank you, Carlos. And to everyone who is watching today's executive interview with Carlos Paulino, Managing Director at Equinix, thank you very much for tuning in. Goodbye, everyone. Until next time.